How's everybody doing? You guys are in Las Vegas, right?
Yes.
How's Las Vegas?
Beautiful today.
Amen. It is so hot here. It's just getting unbearable.
Yeah, that's why we're not. We'll be there again. Oh man, we did not link up last time, but this
We
time,
did not.
brother,
Yes, no. I
we
had,
will be there 6 months. 6 months, dude.
you'll
May,
be there for 6 months.
first week of May to the end of October, we will be in Samara.
Wow. So no excuses.
No excuses, sir.
No. Wasn't just a good set of time. And so I kind of had to stay silent. But um it's time to hit the road, get out and see some green. All right.
Yeah.
So I guess this is who we've got, so we can go ahead and just kind of get started. So first, I want to thank everybody for showing up to this first webinar, Field Notes, um, for the real estate agents of our customers, right? So this is something that I plan on doing a little bit more often. So if you guys are feel free to show up and add your 2 cents. And if you guys got some new and unique things that you're using or things that you would like to do with I think this is a great place where we can bring a lot of some of our wants too, and that way other agents can kind of see what agents are doing. And so, Corey, since you're here, I wanted to talk to you. You're not strictly a real estate agent, right? You do a little bit of both, or
Yeah, I'm a mortgage lending. I'm real estate, and my fiance and I have a company that does business loans, business funding, business purpose, commercial loans, merchant cash advances, everything.
nice. And you're currently using our CRM, right,
Right, right.
to obviously make your dream happen and manage all of these different companies that you're working with, right?
Well, we're using it predominantly right now. I have the Remax side is set up, and I recently, finally, I don't know how long ago you and I talked about it. It's embarrassing, but we do have our first action plan moving.
Okay.
Daisy had to help us a little bit with it for some of the timing. I still don't understand some of the text message things that are happening, either happening or not happening within the back office, but I'm using that dub.com video platform to create the landing page or to create the action plan. So each one of those is embedded in there.
Okay.
And the open rate has been pretty good. We did semi sort of do well, Dwayne still hasn't done it yet. I'll throw Dwayne under the bus, but
There we go.
we have that
Hey,
video that
hey.
goes straight out. Yeah, hey, this
Wheels
is
on
who
the
we
bus go
are.
round and round.
Right. But this is who we are. And then it just goes from there. So we're definitely getting it branded. Just me, obviously just, I was the one that put myself on video. So there's 13 videos in a row. There's the 14, I call it 14 days of pain, even though it's 13. 14 days of pain is 14 days in a row of a text message and an email video that goes out to brand new leads. And then we put some aged leads into a 14 weeks of pain campaign
There you go.
with text messages as well. And we'll see how that works out. I'm using Follow Up Boss also through my mortgage brokerage. And we get tracking on a lot of this stuff through Follow Up Boss. And then unfortunately, Dub does not track bulk sends
Okay.
unless they have a specific email address in there. And so we've connected probably 5-10 email addresses to Mailwarm to keep those active so that we can send bulk messages out through them. But when we put it into Fieldnotes, we get that tracking. And when I put it
Yeah.
into Follow Up Boss, I get that tracking. So when Dwayne logs into my account or our account over here at Fieldnotes, you can see the people that have been opening and engaging with those messages, and those are the ones that we're going to concentrate on.
Yeah. I mean, now in specifics, that's something that I was going to bring up, right? Uncover the hidden power of a CRM in real estate. One of the
Mm-hmm.
topics is having that enhanced communication. So I think what you're talking about, you know, doing an action plan, 14 days of pain, having your plan built and utilizing an action plan is going to save you time, effort, and it's going to engage people, and it's only going to bring that engagement to you that you really need to deal with. Everybody else that's either not reading it or not seeing it, well then, you know, they can stay for a later time, and if they see it and get engaged at a later time, well then perfect, so be it. At least the people that are seeing it are getting engaged, and it's little to no effort for yourself, so it's not like it's something that you have to stay on top of an email, right? And
Right.
then having that additional analytics, you can see who's digesting, right? What kind of penetration you're getting, and then you can act on it, which is huge, right? Instead of acting and just saying, hey guy, call these 300 leads that I have, how about going after the people that have penetration in emails getting to their inbox, opens, text messages. When you can see all of that activity, well then you have a better way of planning your day, especially for the potential people I'm going to go at. And so that was something that I wanted to talk about, which was like the hidden powers of a CRM. And one was having a central database, something controlled by you guys, right? So that's, I would say, important that a real estate agent has his own CRM, something that he's purchasing that he has control. I know a lot of agencies, they give you access to stuff, but what I've heard is it's hard to get your information out, or you can't really assure that they're not going to, call your leads or, step into your book of clients, but that happens. So having your own CRM, huge. Um, Organization, having things organized is definitely going to help an agent execute, wouldn't you say, Corey?
Oh, absolutely.
And so organization is key in this system. If you haven't seen it, let's go ahead and let me share my screen so we can see it.
Well, that and
You
the
know,
consistency. The consistency is big.
absolutely. But if it's organized, then consistency is easier,
Oh
right?
yeah.
To stay
Oh yeah.
consistent. If it's not organized, well, then you're going to make excuses every day to not do what hurts the most, which is, clean up your room. So,
Right.
um,
Right.
you know, talking about the organization, automated processes such as the action plan, right? That's an automated thing that you can set up for yourself, whether if it's you're engaging it manually or after wax on, wax off, and you've done it a million times. Let me just go ahead and create some categories in which will trigger these things. And then as you're moving people through your sales flow, they can actually get triggered. And then it's not something that you have to stay on top of. They're getting educated. They're most likely knowing more about the opportunity and possibly moving forward based off of that instead of just sitting in the dark. Oh, I forgot I need to send you that email. You can automate all of these types of things.
So
So
that's great. So what Dwayne and I and Caleb are creating right now is a bi-monthly. Every 2 weeks, we're going to send out a new ninja marketing, video. So we're basically going to sit in a round table. We're going to discuss a topic. We're going to break out that video and we're going to send it. So we're going to continue to add to the database that's going into that 14-day or 14 week of pain, most likely, and most likely the 14 week of pain.
mhm.
So is there a way? Well, pardon me, show us the way to, if you opened at least one of our videos, to put them on. We're gonna only be able to add this, every 2 weeks. This new video is going to come in every 2 weeks. But how would we add the people that have opened it? So I don't want to toy with the people that haven't opened it, to destroy our reputation online. But how do we focus on or trigger, as you said, an event to put them into another list where we could add that video every 2 weeks?
So when now that might be something that we can't do at the moment, right? But when
Okay.
it comes to the analytics behind where are you hosting this video? Has
The
that something
ho
been thought out or
Well, we're going to be creating it in Dub. It will have its own landing site. every video that is created in Dub gets its own website. So like spiralis.com/QRT54. But we will also be putting it on our The Jones Group YouTube channel. So I don't know if it would be best to, I don't know which would be best to share with them, either the website from Spiralis or the a YouTube channel link from YouTube.
I would I would compare what kind of analytics you can get
Okay,
from both, right? And then
understood.
and might want to just have both because they're both great places to have a video hosted. Now,
Right.
you could go the extra step and use Bitly with hosting that link once you do have the link. But then again, I think it could be, the analytics might not be too as to who has opened this and who has seen it. So
Right.
that might be, but I'm trying to think here. So what we'll do is we'll let you know if an email gets opened, right? So you can now have an idea of somebody who's possibly seen. You can set up and create kind of like a text message that is like a copy of the email just in a text message so people can go from their phone from the text message to, right? That's that's what I'm thinking. And then that
Okay.
way, if you have those both, then maybe a possible call or maybe a follow-up text message. Hey, did you get a chance to see the video? See if anybody replies. And
Right.
then based off of that, maybe move them forward. But um, I don't think there's anything yet that we have that would, if they clicked on something, that it would put them into something else, right?
Okay. Well, I
So,
know Dub does that, so that would be something we could host on our side.
okay, I guess would
Yeah.
be a little bit more. I haven't heard about Dub, so I guess the more maybe set up a meeting and we can discuss a little bit of what Hub and kind of how it's all going to look. Have you tested this on yourself?
Yeah, I'm getting the information.
Okay. And is it blowing? I mean, obviously you want to put yourself in the shoes of who of who you're trying to target it with.
Right.
Do you feel that it's organic? It's you know what I mean? That's what some people I think they fail to do. They'll build something and then they don't test it on themselves, you know,
Well,
or send it to a group of people to say, I'm gonna send you
yeah,
something, see what it, see if you see any kind of anything that I can do better or anything that I can change, and
right.
then see what kind of information you get back. Kind of like an A
Well,
and B study, but
yeah. Well, I mean that's something we need to do, for sure. The other side of what we're doing though is a permission based list. This by the two videos a month are going to be more or less, hey, may I stay in touch? May I send you our video? And that's just how we're going to stay top of mind. The
there you
other
go.
two, are more or less geared towards first time home buyer, tire kicker type people that are almost assuredly going to be on the fence. We haven't developed yet something for the savvy home buyer, and that's why we're going to be doing the videos. That's going to take that place. We're trying to keep it simple, keep it
There you
really really simple. We got that hard pounding for those people that are almost assuredly not going to those Facebook leads.
go. Hmm.
Facebook leads and leads that come in through our KV core system are not the most engaged people at all unless they're rentals. And
Right.
then, so those are people that are just going to be put on that 14 days of drip, like we discussed, where, hey, you just hit me up for real estate information. I'm going to give you as much information as possible. Here's buy versus rent. Here's information on home appreciation. Here's information that tells you what the news is saying and it's not true, those types of things. And then, once that ends, if they have engaged with any one of those 14 videos, we would flip them over into the bi-monthly video series, the education marketing that we're going to be doing. All of those all of those emails go out at, I think the emails go out at like, I tried to get them out around 7:30 at night. So sitting down from dinner, hanging out, email comes in, and then the next morning a text message goes out around 9:30 when they've settled into work and they're already bored. And a text message comes through and says, "Hey, did you see the video last night? What did you think of this video?" Or things of that nature. And so I don't know if the videos are actually, or if the text message, I think last time I checked, of the 270 some people, 13 text messages went out. I know a lot of them didn't have telephone numbers and stuff like that, but I haven't gotten to the bottom of why the text messages are not going out just yet. So
Okay.
I've got to look into that soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, what I mean, damn, one hell of a system that you're setting up for yourself. Um, and if you are looking to, you know, do more than one deal a week, or do this for the masses, this is going to be the only way that you're going to be able to get yourself into a large target group audience, and run this, and having access to action plans, having access to the organization and everything like that. You can move people through this, through the process that you've created.
Right.
CRM is mimicking that process, so that should help you push these people through the process. Analytics, whether if you're getting it with us, whether if you're getting it through other uh, streams as well, I think all of it compiled together is really going to kind of give you the insight you need to have to then find the potential, person at the right moment, because that's really what it is. It's just a matter of, and it comes to um, something that I had a conversation with somebody who sat in a meeting, and it had, I forget what company it was, but it's a emailing company. Um, and they had asked a question to the group of people about, um, of the two different scenarios, who do you think opts out more? Somebody that, or a company that emails you daily, a company that emails you sporadically. And
Pro- pro-
so,
Probably counterintuitively, I think a company that emails you sporadically.
yeah,
I don't know.
no, that was what it was. The ones that were sporadically sending out material, people would just, get out of it. They would unsubscribe. The unsubscribe would be higher with those type, opposed to the people that had more consistency.
What is the psychology behind that? Because I know I do the same thing, to be quite honest. You sign up for something and all of a sudden you're getting 3 emails a day, and you let it go on and on and on and on and junk up your mailbox. But then that one email comes in and you're like, God dang it, sick of these people. And you just unsubscribe from the one that comes in every
You know,
37 days.
it's tricky because I try to put myself in those shoes as well. But you just said it. Like, we sign up for so much stuff, and sometimes I'll hear something, I'll just sign up for signing up to it, and then I get put onto something, and I'm like, no, this is not what I wanted, and then I just easily get out of it, even if it's consistent or non-consistent. If it's more
Right.
annoying, right, which could be the sporadic, then
Yeah.
then I might be more prone quickly to just to get off of it, unless if it's an everyday thing, then I can just kind of see it and, applaud the hustle. But I really think it's just that person's really that not engaged, right? And I don't really
Right.
think it's anything to do with you or the company or the situation. It's just, you know, it was a thought. They
Or
said, okay,
here,
let me
I'll get
sign
to
up,
it.
but then it fizzes out. So what's
Yeah.
great about a system that you're building is, not only do these people come in, stick their head out of the hole, but if you see that they're not engaging, well then, get them out. Like, we're all adults. I would rather have, adults dealing with adults, and people saying, here's my opportunity. Does it interest you? No, thank you. Okay, perfect. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
that that nice little communication back and forth. It doesn't happen. People stay silent, people ghost. So you really kind of don't know. But I don't think one should just be keeping that person and just kind of keep them in forever if they're not really doing anything, right? And they're not. So what I would do is possibly put them into a different list, and maybe set up kind of like a quarterly kind of action plan that just touched base. because no one wants to be a nuisance to get themselves, you don't want to get unsubscribed all the time. However,
Right,
um,
right,
I do think that having the insight and having the process and the system, that means you can target 250 people. Okay, 50% unsubscribed. Okay, that's common. Now let's see if there's anything that we can see why. Maybe the target wasn't that too of a target. Maybe bad list, could be, many different things that equate to that as a result. But I definitely feel having a system, a CRM working for you, it's going to give you the little holes that you might have not been seeing, and then patch the hole and have a true seamless system. People can come in, they can get targeted, they can get, educated, yes or no, thank you. And then you can either decide whether if you want to put these people into a special list with like a sphere, right? So tags and badges, everybody, loves tags and badges. That's something you can do in the CRM by
right.
simply creating them under the categories. We've got groups and categories, but you can create and change the names to these as you wish, and then create spheres. And then so now you have spheres for, I've used it for leads that some customers, so we do pre-legal sales, and they also use the CRM as well. And so um, I've used, let's say they get 150, people looking for a work from home kind of opportunity. So I will create a quick sphere of that lead upload, and then I can always go back to those leads and I can set up some columns which will give me the emails sent, receive, and last received on. And then the same with, so that was with text messages, and the emails. I might as well see is who's do not call. And then now you've got this analytics, right? How many emails have
Shoot,
you sent?
okay.
How many people have read? And you can always go back to this because it's based off of a sphere. So you use the filter to create the circled group. You can save the view so that you can then have it and you can kind of go back to March's leads per se. And then that'll give you quick access to get to this. I didn't know if you know, but you can download now. Well, you've always could, but you can download with all columns this 147 people. And so now you'll have an Excel, right?
Okay, we can
So if
call on those or
you can either
view.
exactly, you can split this amongst your peoples, or you can use the analytics that it gives you here. It'll also tell you. So then now, because sometimes filtering in and adjusting the columns in field notes, it's rigid, right? But in Excel, you could definitely, drop a filter, and then now you can let me see, who are the people with the most text messages, and now you can kind of look into the data. One thing I used to do is I used to work for a sales outfit. They had tremendous analytics, and every once in a while, I'll see the boss walk around with little sheets of piece of paper. He would put it on specific people's desks. And I was like, well, why don't I get my little fortune cookie slip? You know what I mean? Like, what, what am I doing wrong? Well, what it was is he would get analytics based off of who's consuming all of the emails that they were sending out. And then he would make a little list of those people. He would cut them up because I think he would print it out. Then he would cut them up and leave them on people's desks. And it happened to be those people's desks were the closers and the people that closed the majority. And, eye of the tiger kind of salesman. And I had to like work to get my little fortune cookie slips. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think I achieved, and I did get I think I got like a couple, but that was something in which I didn't really kind of know how was he knowing all this information? Why should I call the CEO of this company? Oh, because we just saw him open up a bunch of emails. And so definitely um, that should help either you find out who we should put into a next step, or who should we be calling, who should we be following up with, because you know and that also in the dashboard, if you haven't seen that in either of the views, it has the recent activity.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
if you're
Yeah.
going to have any page open, it would be to have this one and just sit there and just kind of monitor it, because it'll ticker through as people start to open up stuff. And what's
Mm.
also interesting is you will also see people opening up stuff, old stuff, and you'll say to
Yeah.
yourself, I've been doing this for 3 months, and they opened up the first email. What's that all about? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just insight, insight on top of insight. That way you can see what's going on and potentially reach out to somebody. Who knows, you might get them on the phone. It might be a good time. But I definitely think that that's what people should be doing, and not just wasting the time, of the 250. Now, I'm not saying don't call all those 250. I would still do it regardless, but I would be definitely calling that stuff first that has shown some type of engagement, little if it be, but I'm still going to go after those guys. And so, no, no, I mean, I think you've got a really good grasp. Then again, we've sat down and we've had a lot of time to talk. You've spoken with Daisy. Daisy's, you know, she knows, if not more than me, um, just about as much. So she's definitely helpful. Um,
Right.
but yeah, no, no, I mean, so of the things, I think we covered everything. I think the only thing we haven't covered is like integration. And so if people don't know that they can integrate through Zapier all kinds of stuff, whether if it's you want a lead source to come into the system, so then you can then, speed to lead, start him on an action plan, educate him, give him a nice little welcome, all of those kinds of things. You could also do onboarding, so once you've got the client, whatever it is, you now can onboard them and you can have an action plan to help you onboard them. I don't think that's too much for real estate agents. However, um, if you had that, you know, need, you definitely could set things up like that to. Now, what I have seen for real estate agents is they do set up a series, just like an action plan. So once they've purchased the home, uh, they'll kind of follow you 30, 60 days after, and they'll give you nice little tips on, you know, what's the progress of your home. Hey, don't forget to pay this. Hey, don't forget about this, and those kinds of things. And so I've seen real estate agents, once everything has been said and done, they put them on a final kind of, not a farewell action plan, but just more of, just after everything has been said and done, just to kind of keep in touch, which isn't manually done by you. It's just everything that you've programmed, helpful things that you've seen help people. And that'll
Oh,
give
that's
them the
great.
procession of that, hey, that person's still with me. Then comes the year anniversary, you follow up on that. And now you're saving this potential client. And I guess that's a theory of delivering excellence and trying to do that with everybody, so that everybody wants to be an advocate of your services and sends people to you, right? I don't think a lot of people are like seeing that angle of the business, but if I would say if you start looking into your business and you're not really kind of fermenting those referrals, well, then definitely something to think about. I don't know if everybody knows, but in our message library, I've got this real estate template library folder set up. And in this, it kind of helps a real estate agent who may not have uh, a solid process. This will help you kind of build one. So if you are familiar with 8x8, this is kind of a outline to build yourself an 8x8 and to take it into action plans. And you can see here week 1, week 2, week 3. So you can import these and these as activities and build out and begin to outline how your 8x8 is going to work. Once the 8x8 has been done, I mean, you're most likely at that moment going to know whether if the person's going to be moving forward or not. But they get on a 33 touch program. So if you haven't heard of touches, it's essentially how many touches do you have to do before somebody does business with you. Um, we're not saying 33 is the number. 33 is to basically long-term follow-up. So with 33 touches throughout the year, that should cover you. Here is a template that basically outlines all these 33 different types of touches. And it's really easy. If you think of holidays, there's like 12, I think, in the United States, if I, or a little bit more, but let's just call it 12. And then, so if you follow up on holidays, birthdays, if you happen to know their home anniversary, okay, that then now we can be looking at a monthly newsletter. With just that alone, you're well into, the 25 touches. So now we're talking about, I guess, if you do ebooks, a lot of people haven't thought about creating ebooks and guides and things, for like lead capturing, um, valuation reports, doing that once a year, or, what the market looks like for themselves, kind of like an exit strategy for some people, who knows? But all of these little touches is what kind of keeps people um, engaged. But just knowing that, hey, Corey's there, I can depend on Corey. I had a lady who a real estate agent out of Illinois who had asked me to, can we break up my people by counties? Well, we figured out what zip codes was in each county, and we did filters, and we created the views for each, and I think it was 3 counties. And so she had 3 counties. Now she had all of her contacts broken up into counties. And I forget what email she created, but she's playing around with, chat GBT, AI tools to kind of build something. She saw an article on a new law that was happening, a tax law. To my understanding, she wrote something up, sent it out to the people in her county. So she split it up, and I think she sent it out to a specific group. Somebody from her network saw that, liked what she wrote, had a conversation with her. So it engaged the person. And I don't know if it was 2 or 3 weeks later, but then that person said, you know what? Would you, I would like for you to list a home for me. And of course, she helped him with that. And she really never thought that somebody would come from that. You know what I mean? From that kind of
Right.
activity. And it was just and she was just dabbling in creating material and touches and that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, this person respects something that she wrote and put together. And then that I think based off of that respect and how she well put that email together and explained her point, he valued it and said, you know what, this is a smart person. I think she could definitely help me with listing my home. And she did. And, and that's so unconventional. I can't say that that will happen all the time, but look what it came from. You know what I mean? And so um, that's what the touches are. What if one of these touches, relived the moment that you helped that person with their home, and they're talking to a friend that's looking to, move into the city. And so now you come to mind, and that's how your information gets passed. That's how you get into other opportunities. And so if you haven't, if anybody hasn't had a chance to scroll over to the library to see a little bit of what I've put, also referring friends. I don't know about you, Corey, but when I was speaking with this lady about this whole topic about referring, this is something that she just never did. She would never talk to to potential people about, is there anybody in your family, or just laying down the foundation that, the best way that somebody can, repay her is by letting her help her family and friends. And so this
Right.
is also something that helps you kind of build a strategy to ferment that and get people to send business back, because spending money on leads, doing all these efforts to go out and capture these people takes a lot of money and effort, you know.
Yeah.
And in some cases doesn't give you nothing to look at, right? You could spend months, you could spend weeks and weeks, 100 and something hours of time on a campaign, on an effort, and nobody comes at you. However, you can focus on doing excellent business with the customers that you have, and letting them reflect on that. And if when they have family members, um, I think somebody, well, no, one of these real estate agents that I had a chance to speak with, she had told me she did business with one, and then no, I think she was going to do something with a potential client. It didn't happen, but she put her mother. So she was real close to do business with one person, but then it didn't move forward. But she ended up saying, "Hey, well, I'm not moving forward. Why don't you help my mom?" She helped her mom, and then I think it stepped on to a couple of other family members. So you know, I really, really think, going into your past clients and having some type of touch program, 33 touch, 22, 12, whatever touch it is, I think that would definitely help you and get you put in um, to other people's situations and possibly, you know, do more business. So that's something if people haven't seen in the library and use the library, right? This is so that all your canned responses is saved. I remember working a casino job and I had like 40 different templates. And when they said to me, they tried to surprise me and say, "Hey, it's your day. You're going to be answering all the emails of the company." I was like, "Bring it on." And I had the easiest day because I had everything templated. I didn't have to think of nothing. Your free play is credited. Here it is. Your deposit is credited. Your name for your Western Union deposit is here. Like all my emails were vetted, spelled correctly. And so when they saw that I was doing that job and just basically just doing it effort with no effort involved, it was just the easiest thing I could ever have been signed up for. you know, I got that from here. Now I had to do it different and I had to create signatures and multiple signatures, and that turned out to be a pain in the butt. But I use definitely this type of system to create. And so um I've got I think, I mean, we've really kind of covered everything that I wanted to cover. I'll definitely not bombard everybody with too much information. Corey, I can't thank you enough for showing up. Um,
Absolutely.
and if you're welcome to, and you too, Dwayne, right? You guys are welcome to show up for the next one. I'm gonna see on when our next one will be, but it'll be sometime next month. I'm kind of thinking if we do it on the 20th of the month, I think that's kind of what I want to do. And
Well, next month, the
oh,
20th is on a
Saturday.
Saturday. It's my wife's birthday.
Well, there you go. Well, happy birthday. I would tell her I was thinking of her. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I didn't want her
it's
to.
an easy one to remember, 420.
Yeah, well,
Oh
don't.
yeah, Rena and I are getting married on that day.
Are you
Hey, man,
really?
Yeah.
I love it. It's a
Nice.
beautiful day. It's, there's nothing wrong with 420. Never been nothing wrong with 420. So I'm glad
Right.
you guys embrace. Well, then again, I think it's Hitler's birthday as well.
Yeah,
But
it is.
Oh gosh.
that's the only damn moment out of that. But you know what?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Um, no
No,
one's
I appreciate the
lighting a candle
library.
for
I
that.
didn't even know existed. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's my fault for not clicking around in field notes enough. You know what I mean? But
well,
um,
it's a hidden little gem, right? And if people don't have much of a process, this will definitely. So where did I get all of this? If anybody is kind of curious, is Ninja. If you're familiar with Ninja selling, um, I was told to read the book and I read it and I was like, oh my God, this is, if not a beautiful book for a real estate agent, right? Because I definitely feel that you can get more deals out of your past clients than any efforts of, trying to chase down people and find people. And everybody talks about the past clients, uh, they engage different. They're a little bit more down to earth, right? Who knows why customers sometimes feel a little bit entitled, but it is what it is. But people love working with family members of their past clients, friends and family. That's that's all I can hear. Everybody would rather do that all day long. So this helps you do that. Plus, in the library with the 8x8, it'll help you build a relationship with somebody that you currently don't have. And then once you've built a relationship with somebody and you're in that friend zone, Well, then having conversations, and if you're doing active listening, then you're going to hear the moments in which it's going to align with the sale of a home. And then that's when I would say is the best moment for you to pounce and to offer your services is at that moment, not before, not after, because, you know, the moment hasn't really kind of reached to that peak. But the 8x8 will at least get you to befriend the person. It'll be organic, right? It's done over 2 months. So it's not something that it's like you expect to make a friend in 7 days. So it's 2 months long, 8 weeks of
Right.
engagement. That definitely, you know, sets somebody up to know who you are and what you can do. And if they're not immediately working with you, then it's follow up. And then there's going to be that moment that they will. And if you're presenting yourself as, you know, somebody to help them with whatever it is real estate needs, then I would say at some point they're going to lean on you, you know, unless they want to live in a cardboard box. So now it's just a matter of waiting. And if you do this with 100, you know, 150 people in a week, you're going to build a huge pipeline. You're going to have a system that can organize all of these people, you know, that can help you utilize action plans to stay on top of them. It just a whole, you know, automated system that's going to basically just give you the keys to manage thousands of people at a time. And all you have to really work is just the people that are engaging and asking for your services. So um, a huge tool nowadays. I've seen a lot of people try to do it without a CRM, but
Yeah.
extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And then you got to have like 6 different products, right? And so definitely, if you can pay a little bit of money, which right now I can tell you we've got CRM services, like you could just get bare bones CRM for no contract, $25 a month, and with a yearly contract, you can get it for like $20 a month, and that's just access to the CRM. If you wanted to add text messaging, that's another $25. But it's basically as you see yourself moving your business forward and needing to have that type of capability, you can add it on, unless you can basically just use the CRM. You can upload your email, you can send action plans. Um, you've got a calendar view, so you can sync that to your Google or your Microsoft and have that as well. So definitely a tool for agents. Corey, do you have anything that you would like to end this webinar, or Dwayne?
No, I'm good. I learned 2 nuggets of information. I am good to go for today. I appreciate the information you put in there, etc.
Absolutely. Dwayne, it was nice meeting you.
You too. I
You
look
know,
forward to the next one. It's definitely been helpful. And I'll definitely be utilizing that library.
absolutely. Would love to, maybe on the next round, love to see how you're using it, and if you need any help with it. My phone number, you guys can see, is here. That's my email. So if you guys needed to reach out to me, that you can do. I also have a link. So if you get any of my emails, you'll see that there's a book me link that gives you a couple of hours in my schedule where you can schedule some time with me, and we can further look at your system. This, you know, with this CRM, you can do so many different things, so many different ways. I would rather, you know, speak to people and see how they would like to run things and customize the approach for them. So if anybody has any free time, I am definitely here for any help that they may need. So
Perfect. I'm going to hit you up with that. My fiance and I need help setting up the other CRM that we have through Fieldnotes.
sure, absolutely.
Awesome.
Well,
Thanks, man.
Corey, Dwayne, a pleasure, guys, and everybody watching. I thank you, and you guys have a great day. All right.
All right.
Take care.
Enjoy.
Ciao, guys. A
Later.
pleasure. Bye-bye.